right, it is time for Friday Reads. Hey everyone, it is Shannon, and I'm super excited to be here today and to share with you this video. In my Friday Reads videos, I share how my reading has been going, including what I finished, what I've started, and anything interesting that I'm carrying over week to week. And this week I have a little bit of everything. Yay! That's definitely a step up from last week where I don't think I had a little bit of everything. Like, I always have carryover. But I didn't do a Friday Reads video last week, so I do apologize for that. I did get my first video out for my most anticipated films of the year. I ended up splitting that into 3 parts, so I did get that video out. So I don't know if I should just aim for a video a week. I think that's a bit more I don't know if that's manageable. I don't know what it is. Anyway, I just haven't quite found my feet in terms of my schedule and videos and stuff like that. So I'm trying my best. I think I'm just kind of on summer hours, you know what I mean? I just feel a little bit just to want to be a bit more freeform, and sometimes if I don't have a lot of reading happening, I don't feel like there's too much to share. But that's not what happened last week. I can't remember what happened last week, but anyway, so I'm here today. Yay! I did do some reading. Yay! My reading has picked up a bit. Yay! So let's get to what I have finished. First up, I'm super excited to share that I did finally finish We Were Dreamers by Simu, an immigrant superhero origin story. I am so thrilled. This was not what I did not expect to finish this as quickly as I did. This I started last year when it was released. I got it in hardcover, and I started reading it then, and then I put it aside. I think it is a little bit heavy. It's not super heavy. Anyway, it came up again in the currently reading challenge in May, and at that time I decided to switch to audiobook, and I started from the beginning. And I did finish it on audio, and I read the whole thing. I listened to the whole thing on audio. I have talked before, and I was thinking about maybe doing a video about why I don't listen to audiobooks that much, but I'm not discouraging other people from listening to audiobooks. I just feel like it's a bit more of an explainer, because I don't have a consistent time for which I listen to audio, which is why it can take me 6 months to finish an audiobook. But this one I actually did find a consistent time to listen to it, which was when I was gaming. Specifically when I was putting my stuff on sale on the auction house for WoW, because that I do really consistently, and then I ended up finishing the book in a week and a half. Amazing how that happens, but it's true. I think that really is the key to listening to audiobook. If you have a consistent time to listen, you will finish lots of audiobooks. If you don't, you won't. So maybe I don't need to do my video. I don't think I would. I don't know how much it would have to offer. But anyway, I loved this book so much, and I'm so happy that I did listen to it on audio. It is without question my preference to listen to memoirs narrated by the author, and this is narrated by Simu. And you just feel the story. It's nonfiction, but you feel his story, his life experiences so much more when he shares them, and the roller coaster of emotions in lots of situations. Some of the family relationships were tough, and I really did appreciate how much he shared about them, although some of it was unexpected for the ones that were tough. And then all of the different challenges that he faced, the pressure to go into certain fields in terms of academics and employment and those kinds of things. There was lots of family pressure there. And it's interesting to hear that, because for me, I knew him from Kim's Convenience, and then of course from Shang-Chi. And so to know that that's sort of where the trajectory he was on was this, academic professional, it's just really, wow. So anyway, I loved it so much. I am glad that I did get the physical copy, because there are pictures, and I did love looking at the pictures. I waited till the end to look at the pictures, but he's got lots of pictures of his family, including, I love how this one, he says it's one of his favorite pictures with his mom. So yeah, it's well worth a listen, well worth a read, and the acknowledgements crushed me. Just like in a good way. Like it was very powerful, and I really enjoyed it. So I'm very happy that it also became available on audio. It's on audio on Scribd, and when it first came out, it wasn't. So that was great. I feel really happy to have finished it. It did take me over a year, as is the way with some books. It just is. Okay, now on to stuff that I've started that hopefully will not take me a year to read. I really don't think, especially this first one, will. But I have also started reading Persona 4 Volume 1. This is a manga. I'm reading this for Dai's Monochrome Manga Club. They are reading Volume 1 and Volume 2. So Persona is something that I'm not terribly familiar with, and I don't actually, so this is Persona 4 Volume 1, and I think they're based on video games, if I'm understanding correctly, and like that's what the author's note said, and I think I might have watched someone playing one of the Personas on Twitch, so I have some familiarity, but very, very little. And this is like a mystery. So this is like a new person in town mystery sort of trope situation. There's a guy, his family is working, and they need to send him away to another family member. So he moves to a new place, from the city to not city. And then when he's there, some mysterious crimes start to happen, and he sort of groups up with a couple people, and they try and figure it out, as you would as high schoolers, right? I think they're high school. I'm actually really, one of the things I'm really enjoying about this is the author's notes in between the chapters, giving some context of the story or the characters, because I'm not familiar with it at all, and I didn't even realize it was a mystery. So, and it also has some things that totally creep me out, like that just like, I think we all have those particular things that we're like, that scares me, and this has like 2 of them, and I'm like, oh, come on. So this one's taking me a little bit longer to read. Usually I read a manga like in 2 days. I start it one day and I finish this the next, but this one's going on 4 days because I don't necessarily want to read it at night because I find it a little creepy. I do enjoy it though, and I like the characters. As I said, I liked how the author gives some context, and I'm curious to see what the heck is going on. Like, it actually really is an interesting and unique setup, and I have no clue what's going on. It does have a speculative fiction element to it, and so it's interesting. It's very interesting. It's very engaging. But I think I need to read it during the day so it doesn't keep me up at night. So I'm close to the end of Volume 1, and I do plan on also reading Volume 2. So that is Persona 4. I also started, and I mean, I could easily finish this week, but I might carry it over to next week. And that is Happy Birthday Bad Kitty by Nick Bruel. Bad Kitty is back and badder than ever. So I bought a Bad Kitty book from the library at one of my random library pickup hauls. I don't know if it was in the haul, but it was just, it's a kids illustrated novel, lots of illustrations, very little text, and it just follows a bad kitty. I mean, I don't, it's weird because so I am, again, I mentioned this last week, that I'm sort of looking for sort of like an easy series to read, that doesn't require too much attention span. And this is pretty good for that, but I feel like the bad kitty part of it, like that, like what everything the cat does is bad or grumpy or tumultuous is not really something I like. I like things that, in terms of what I'm looking for in something that's like an easy read. Like, I find this funny and humorous, but sometimes my humor doesn't usually go to the realm more of like mean, and this is, definitely a surly kitty. And it doesn't mean, I don't know, I feel like there's just tension between the cat and everyone else anyway, or the cat doesn't want to do stuff and they want him to do stuff or whatever, I don't know. Anyway, so I am just looking for easy reads, and this does work, but I think it doesn't quite work because they are so fast. Like, they're like 100 pages, but it's very, like, I think there's illustrations on every page. So it's a little faster than I'm looking for. I might hold this over till next week, though, because Grinchathon has been announced, and Grinchathon is created and hosted by Izzy from Punk Rock Girl PA, and it is running from July 22nd to 29th, this Christmas in July version. And so I might hold Bad Kitty, Happy Birthday Bad Kitty, to Grinchathon because it definitely fits for, I think there is one for pictures, and I'm sure there's one for fast. There usually is always one for fast. So I might put Bad Kitty aside and pick it back up next week just for that. If you're interested in Grinchathon, I will leave the announcement video up above and down below. And Izzy has created a Discord where the sprints and such will happen. So definitely feel free to check it out. I'm looking forward to it. I don't think I'll be able to get a separate TBR video up for Grinchathon, so I'll be more likely to share my Grinchathon TBR either on Instagram or in the Discord, and see how things go from there. It's soon, right? Like it only starts a few days away. But I love Grinchathon. It's very open and you can read whatever you want. You can follow the prompts. You don't have to follow the prompts. It's just about reading together. And I look forward to it each and every time that it's run. So that's what I've been reading. What am I carrying over? I am continuing to read The Last Fallen Realm by Graci Kim. This is the third in the Gifted Clan series. It's an urban fantasy middle grade series, and I'm just over halfway. I'm 2/3. I'm at page 200, and it's 300 pages. So this is the finale of the series. I am reading this with Izzy and Kay Kelly. The live show is during Grinchathon. It'll be on Thursday the 27th. I got to say, though, I'm not enjoying this one as much as either of the other two books. I know it'll get me in the end. I know it'll get me, but I'm finding it a little bit, I don't know. I'm finding it a little, the protagonist, I feel like I just want her to be a bit more, like I don't know. She feels very unsure of herself, and I know that that's a journey thing, and I'm sure she'll get there in the end. But after all that's happened, I'm kind of like, I'm rooting for you, Riley. So anyway, but we'll see where things go. And there's lots of things about this that I have enjoyed, including a lot of characters and a lot of just really great moments and ideas. But I'm surprised that I'm the other two were like, had me and had my heart, like, right away and the whole way through, and this one I'm not feeling it as much, which is very strange. So I imagine I will get there in the end, but we shall see. I finally got back to reading, and this has been a long time, Dead Man Rising, which is the second in the Dante Valentine series by Lilith Saintcrow. This is an urban fantasy novel, and I would like to not only finish this, but also potentially finish this series this year. It's a 5-book series, and this is the second one. I just I'm finding this one a little like, I have a very strong sense of where the story is going, and I just feel a little surprised that the protagonist hasn't figured it out. I'm like, it's like, don't you think maybe, couldn't it be? Especially because, like, literally she's been talking about it, and I'm like, I knew that from page 1. Anyway, but I do like the series and I like the characters, but this particular story has a lot of really dark things in it, and it does have a couple of things that I feel haven't aged well, and it's not even that old, but I am enjoying it. I am hoping to finish it soon. I have, I think, about 80 pages left, but I'm reading it on an increased font, so it's probably more like 50 pages, so I think I'm in the running to finish this maybe hopefully by the end of the month, which would be good because I'm trying to finish like 4 to 5 of the titles like from like May and earlier, so that I can hit my goal of finishing everything I'm currently reading by October. So everything from May and before I want finished by October, and there was about 20 titles, so I need to finish 5 a month. I finished We Were Dreamers. I did finally finish All Creatures Great and Small. I just had to watch the final episode of season 3, so that was sort of like my easy finish. So those are, I think, the 2 that I finished, so I need to finish 3 more. I don't feel like that's super likely, but I think Dead Man Rising is definitely a possibility, and I'll have to look and see, maybe have Grinchathon the Grinchathon prompts and my goals sort of come together and have a little meeting and decide if I can get 2 more in before the end of the month, because it's coming. I can't believe it. This month has gone by very, very quickly. But I think I've done pretty good. I feel pretty good about my reading. Last week, honestly, really not much at all. So I'm glad that I've sort of gotten back to it, and we'll see how things go from here. So there you go. That's how my reading has been going. How has your reading been going? Are you participating in Grinchathon? I would love to know. And have you read or played any of the Persona manga or games? And I'm assuming Persona 4 means it's like the 4th game. I could be totally wrong about that. But yeah, let me know if you have read that. I'm finding it very engaging, but also kind of scary. It's just because it's like the things that scare me. So funny when that happens. Anyway, that's it for this video. I hope that you enjoyed it and have a wonderful Friday and wonderful weekend ahead. Thank you so much for watching.